How a girl ruined my entire high school life. This is probably going to be depressing as shit. I can kind of already see where this is going. Horrific cancel culture and false allegations are like at an all-time high where we're at today as a society, which is disgusting to even say out loud. I can't imagine how bad it is in high school. I am so glad that I am not in high school these days. You know, like it was already bad when I went there, but today's generation, they're fucked, bro. Let's see what's going on here.
Buddy, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about something that I've wanted to talk to you all about for a while now.
Okay.
And it's probably the most detrimental thing that's happened to me in my life.
Jesus.
So let's just get right into it. To start off, I was in grade 9 when this happened.
Jesus.
And basically I was very new to the dating scene. I had never had a girlfriend in advance.
Anybody with a above 68 IQ can see exactly where this is going. My first girlfriend was also grade 9 when I was also in grade 9, just to clarify that. Just to clarify that.
To being in grade 9, I had never been with any girl in general. Like, I've had crushes, obviously. Like, I had crushes before that, but I had never had a successful relationship before that. So, no girlfriends. And my first girlfriend, who I would find in grade 9, we're not going to say her name, obviously, but we'll just call her the girl for now, okay? And this girl, at the time, I thought she was really pretty. I don't know, I just thought there was something about her that I really liked, so I went.
I'm going to share you guys a personal story about, once this guy gets this off his chest, I'm going to show you guys a personal story with my dating experience as well in high school. I don't think I've ever shared this publicly, but I'd love to talk about it later.
For her, obviously. I asked for her number in a really stupid way. I pretended to fall and like drop my phone, and then when she picked it up for me, I was like, "Can you slide your number?" And like, it was really stupid the way
Sure.
I asked for her number. But yeah,
yes. It's cute.
I'm getting a bit off topic here. After she did that, after she gave me her number, we texted for a while. Pretty much said "I love you" on like the third day of talking. It was really stupid.
Normal stuff. It's normal
but
stuff.
I didn't know the consequences of saying something like that yet. You know,
Sure,
like
sure.
there's not a like a crazy amount of consequences. Obviously, sometimes it's a good thing, but saying that early on in a relationship is never good.
I think
And
it's
I've
fine.
come to learn that soon. So fast forward a month or so, we were together.
It's very scary that this guy thinks there's like an overwhelming consequence by saying "I love you" too early. That's kind of the state of relationships in 2026. Saying the word "I love you" is like a death sentence. I think this guy is about to say he had a very piss poor experience, which, to be honest, is becoming the status quo for a lot of men these days.
Initially, after a week of talking, we made it official, and then throughout that month, it was a really good relationship. Like, this was the first girl I ever kissed and made out with. That was the most we ever did, though, and that's
Sure.
a big point that I want you to know. That was
Sure.
the most we ever even did with each other.
You made out with a chick, sure.
And it'll make sense in a second why I'm telling you that.
Okay.
So after that month, though, we lasted, I believe, 2 months total. So another month went by.
That's a pretty standard length for a high school relationship. I guess I'm an outlier because I've really, I'm not a guy that fucks around. My first relationship was this chick. Her name started with a P. We dated for 3.5 years in high school. And then we finalized the breakup when her parents tried to get me to launder drug money for her, and I got scared as shit. And also, like, I was going to a shitty college and she wanted to go, or she could have gone to a great college. And she said that she won't go to that college. That way she can go to college with me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just like not gonna ruin your life like that. Like, go do your own thing. Yeah. And like me and her, we're like still cool. I was actually gonna do a video like 2 years ago with her where I was like interviewing my first ever ex-girlfriend and like talk for the first time, like face to face in like 10 years. But then I was like, nah, I'm good. It's weird. She's married now, which is cool. Good for her. Keep going here.
And I was starting to lose a bit of feelings for her because, once again, it was my first girlfriend. I was in grade 9. I was new to this. I started to see her truer colors and I started not to want her anymore, And it was hard to explain something like this at such a young age to a girl. So instead of explaining it to her outrightly, I decided to break up with her during Christmas break.
Sure.
And I would come to learn that was probably one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life.
Yeah, was expecting someone to be reasonable. Breaking up with someone should never be like this thing that instills fears in you. It should be a thing that you should be comfortable with doing when you don't feel those feelings anymore, right? But someone freaking the fuck out over a normal thing, that's not the mistake you made, bro. Like, this is just, it doesn't sound like his fault at all.
And it's for a very simple reason. So what ended up happening after I broke up with her is everything seemed normal at first. I didn't get any texts, surprisingly. I didn't get any calls.
There you go.
And what did happen, though, is I went to school after Christmas break. And basically, every single person that I had known, or pretty much every single person that I was aware of, like at the school, was giving me dirty looks, was looking at me weird, or like just straight up commenting about me or saying stuff in front of me that I didn't like.
How much you want to bet the chick said that he raped her? How much y'all want to bet? I have not seen this. We saw me pull this up at the same time. $100 says she said that this guy sexually assaulted or raped her. Watch this shit.
You know? And what I didn't understand about that is I didn't know what had happened, you know? I was very concerned. I asked my friends and they just completely ignored me. And I realized that not only had I lost a lot of respect from the public of my school, but I had lost respect from teachers and friends. And I had no idea why yet. So, obviously, I went to the girl that I had just broken up with. I almost said her name. That's why I cut the video there. But I went to the girl that I had broken up with, and she said she had nothing to do with what had happened. And I asked what had happened, and she refused to elaborate. And then I started getting texts from people asking me very interesting things.
Like what?
And I was sent pictures of DMs with her that were just between us two. And they were very explicit DMs about like wanting to make out with each other, wanting to do things with each other, stuff you wouldn't like spread usually, stuff you wouldn't screenshot and spread to the public.
Sure.
But that was the least of my concerns at the time.
Okay.
Not only did people think I was weird because of the DMs that were shown to other people that were just meant to be between me and her, but it was because she had told them something that I had done, which obviously I hadn't, but...
Which is what?
I'm going to get to that in a sec. Fast forward around 3 months, I believe. I finished grade 9, I believe, like maybe 4 or 5 months actually. Yeah, around 4 or 5 months. I had finished grade 9. And in grade 10, this is when I found out what had actually been going on. So
it took him a year to find out what was being said? How in the fuck? Oh my God. And with that type of shit spreading behind the scenes for that long, oh, he's fucked.
I started off grade 10, obviously pretty, messed in the head because I had lost all my friends, all my people around me just didn't like me,
And he doesn't even know why.
I still had no idea why. Because I knew that whatever it was not just the DMs.
Because like us waiting to hear what he did, he had to live with not knowing what was said he did for years. And it already feels like torture waiting for 5 minutes to hear what this bitch said.
I knew I knew with my heart that that's not the only thing that had happened. And then a single person, just one person, changed exactly what had happened to me. This person came up to me and straight up asked me, "Didn't you grape a girl last year?"
There it is. A nice, good-looking dude broke up with a chick. They were pissed. They didn't want to ask themselves why I would be broken up with. They wanted to justify it and say, oh, the reason why I was broken up with was because he was a horrible, evil rapist. Because it prevents the uncomfortable dialogue that people would have to kind of understand why this person lost interest in them. And so what do? They call him a sexual assaulter. They call him a rapist. And it sucks how common this is. You want to know a real story? Some of my OG fans will actually know this. A lot of my newer viewers won't know this. I was also accused of rape when I was in high school. And this is why, a lot of people wonder why I'm so paranoid. I was also accused of rape. It was like 2 days after I turned 18 in high school. I had a girlfriend, the same girlfriend ex-girlfriend that I'm still cool with. And at the time, we were still exes as well. Ex-girlfriend invites me out to a party. I go with my buddy Edric. You guys know Edric. You've all met him before. And this party had a dress code. Well, me, I dressed like shit all the time. I had a black tank top. I wore sweatpants all the time to everything. And my ex-girlfriend wants me to come to the party. I can't because the dress code doesn't allow it. So she says she still wants to see me and talk about things. And so I say, okay. Not gonna lie. We go to Taco Bell. We get a little bit freaky. And we come back. Well, unfortunately, her best friend, and I'll just say it, her best friend's name was Andrea, right? She didn't like me. And she didn't want me and my ex to hang out again. So she called my girlfriend's parents and said that I kidnapped her and raped her for the 2-3 hours that I was gone. So I drive back, and obviously, I drive her back. Things are fine. Think everything's cool. We talked, and honestly, we got back together that night. I'm not gonna lie. Again, we broke up like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. I have a very hard time giving up on relationships that I should have given up long ago. Go to bring her back. I see her parents' car, and I'm like, oh, God, here we go. Hope to God I don't have to fucking talk to these people. I go. I drive in. Her mom jumps in front of my car to stop it. Her dad jumps behind my car, so I can't reverse it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I got to talk to these fucking parents again, which I fucking hate. Right? That's one of the reasons why I really didn't enjoy dating her, was because her parents were fucking just awful. And then a police officer comes up to my door and knocks on the window. One very uncomfortable conversation later, and my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, hybrid at the same time, was crying and pleading, saying, none of that happened, none of that happened, none of that happened, I promise you. But that was the first time where I realized, wow, one person lying can ruin my life forever. A lot of you guys may or may not know this. That was the first night where I ever tried to kill myself. Because I realized the reality of this world, that one person lying can ruin your life forever. And let's say me and my girlfriend didn't get back together that night. And let's say me and my girlfriend was upset that I didn't get back together with her. She could have lied to that officer right there and just said, yep, it's all true. And my life would be even more fucked from that point forward. I go home after I pick up my buddies, and, my buddy Edric also had some trauma that night. And so encouraging me to drink was pretty high. And I go home and I drink a bottle and a half of, I believe it was 98 proof Kraken rum in an attempt to kill myself. Thankfully, I was a very large person and I did not die. But that is the cold, bittering reality. And I honestly would say, out of curiosity, I don't think what I went through and what I'm still going through is a uncommon occurrence. Out of curiosity, chat, type 1 if you've ever been accused of something that you never did. Type 2 if you haven't. I think there's going to be a lot more 1s than there are 2s, because I believe this is a world where perception is reality to a lot of people. And I think that's a reason why a lot of people watch me, because this world is disgusting. And I hate how even before starting this video, we knew what this young man was going to say, because it is far too common that women employ lies to destroy men's lives. It is fucking disgusting. It is. The thing is, you cannot let them win, because if you let them win, the world will never get better. You must fight every single day, despite what everything is put in front of you, despite every obstacle. Continue to push no matter what, and do not let these people win, because the best revenge is a happy life. It is. And I can't wait to announce the day where I have my own kid and I'm a proud fucking father. And I look forward to that day because I know all of the people who are trying to ruin my life do that because they hate themselves and they hate their lives. And when their content creation career is over, they will be left with nothing but empty promises and fraudulent friendships. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for me being happy to drive them to the point of insanity. Let's keep going here. Support for this young man. This is awful.
I'm not going to name the person who asked me that, but they came up to me and asked me that. And so in that person doing that, I obviously responded with no. I had no idea.
W Tectone, I don't need a W, but I want a W for every single chatter who's ever endured something like this young man has, or have ever experienced being accused of something they never did. W's to you guys for continuing to fight and be here every single day.
What he was talking about, but I just couldn't believe what he had just said. I couldn't believe someone that I had known so long ago. And this wasn't just a random person, by the way. This was a friend I had around grade 5, and then we kind of split apart after that. And then I met him in school before that, before all this happened, before he heard about the rumor. And then he came up to me and he said that. And I was just oblivious to what was going on, And so it turned out, after he explained himself, it turned out that not only did he believe that I had raped someone the year before, but a lot of people, pretty much everybody that had known this girl or had known of this girl, knew about it and thought that I had done that. And it's insane to me the power that a girl has to just be able to say something like that, and it can just get blown out of proportions.
Yeah, imagine that.
Because from what I'm...
Hey, wait till this guy realizes how easily abusable the court system is too. It is a fucked up world, boys. It is a fucked up world.
Aware of, initially, it was just the DMs. And then it turned into someone, I don't want to just blame her for this, but someone turned it into sexual assault. And then someone straight up turned it into grape. I don't know who these people were who had made this rumor about me, but there was no way of stopping it now, as it had been a year since the initial thing had started spreading. And not only did I lose all my friends from this, but I started to lose myself, I started to lose my sanity.
It's awful.
And fast forward to grade 11 now, after 2 years of being unsuccessful with finding a girl to get with or finding any friends in general, I finally found a girl, but it doesn't matter. It had been 2 years by this point, and the only reason I was able to get with this girl is because initially she was one of the people who didn't believe in it and thought there wasn't enough proof or evidence of it. She was one of the only people I met who was aware that without proof, evidence, or anything like that, you can't just say something like that about somebody.
Well, that woman is one of the few. A lot of people don't get that, man. But I mean this genuinely. You can unironically be held civilly liable for sexual assault and rape with zero proof. If that is not a comment or fact that will radicalize you, I don't know what will. Yes, guys, you can be held civilly liable for sexual assault or rape with zero proof if they have a good enough story. That's a real thing. That is a real fucking thing. It's disgusting.
And for her, I want to thank her for that because, she was probably the only person who didn't believe in it at the time.
The worst thing is, you can lose these cases with mountains of proof against it. But if a woman cries in court, you're fucked.
But yeah, I'm getting distracted here. Basically, after so long of dealing with this, it led me to a very low point in my life. And quickly, I just want to say to the girl who started all of this, fuck you. Genuinely.
Yeah! Get her ass, bro. Yes, sir. Hey, say it again, bro. Get that shit off your chest, King.
Who started all of this. Fuck you.
Yep.
Genuinely, I hate the fact that you did this to me.
Yep.
And I really hope that sticks with you if
Yep.
you're watching this.
Yep.
Because she led me to a point where, well, the girl who spread the rumor led me to a point where I attempted suicide.
You'd be surprised at how common this is, guys. And you know what the worst thing is? There will be zero consequences for the woman. And this man is going to have to live a paranoid-ridden life for the rest of his days still here on Earth. It's insane, man. It's fucking insane.
Not just once either, but a few times. And then there was one specific night where I had everything set up. I knew I was going to do it that night.
Yep.
But then my dad came in and saw everything, and next thing you know, I got sent to a mental hospital, you know? And all of this was because one girl said something that she shouldn't have. And what I want you to be aware of...
By the way, this isn't some cherry-picked video from 3 years ago. Guys, this is from 6 days ago with 100,000 views from a random YouTube channel called I'll Try. And this happens so often, it's insane. Like, I've heard over 30 stories this month, and we're, what, March 12th. It's insane. It's like becoming a pandemic. The way to destroy any man's life is to just call him a rapist. It's fucking nuts. And the worst thing is, it's not just the people who make the false allegations. Guys, it's the people on the internet who will openly, knowingly push false allegations that they have seen no proof or evidence for. There's a lot more people at fault than just the people who are doing this. It's the people who are empowering people to do this.
Is not only should you be very careful who you trust in your life, but you need to know that there is almost no way, and I say almost for a reason, but there's almost no way of defending yourself when it comes to something like this.
Yep.
Because what you need to understand is that people, and I mean everybody, wants to hear something like this. They don't want to hear the opposite where, oh, it was just a rumor, it didn't happen. They like to hear stuff like this.
Yep.
Because it gives them something to talk about.
Yep.
And when people have stuff to talk about, it's all they want to do.
Yep.
And so, because of that, when it comes to something like this, there's absolutely pretty much no way of defending yourself. The best you can do when something like this happens is just go on about your life and understand that the real friends that you have, if they truly were your friends, they won't believe anything they hear.
Guys, this kid has this much wisdom. He's 17 years old. And he has this deep of an understanding of how this shit works. This is a good kid, man. This is a good kid. He's this smart at 17. Imagine that.
And sometimes when something like this happens, it's usually not to this scale either, where your entire school hears about it.
Yep.
So I'm really hoping anybody dealing with a similar situation doesn't have everyone knowing about it.
True, that'd be awful.
But yeah, it's crazy what a girl can do to your life.
Yep.
I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night. And I hope you know I'm doing much better now since the situation happened and since the attempts happened. But
that's awesome.
I love you guys so much. Have a great day or night.
You can tell this video was very therapeutic for this guy to make, and it sounded like he had to get a lot off his chest. And it's been 2 years, and it's still bothering him. And the reality is that shit like this, he's never going to heal from this. That's the reality, right? He's probably going to need to talk about this for the rest of his life. because it's a deeply traumatic experience that I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. I genuinely believe the majority of men on this earth who have ever been sexually active or romantically active, you're going to deal with this. You are. And if you haven't, it's because you're lucky. This will happen to the majority of men. I do believe that. It's horrible. It's horrible. I mean, you guys, you got to remember, I mean, even Morgue Pie did this shit to Super Mega, and nobody even remembers it. And Super Mega's career is fucking obliterated. And even I didn't even know that when I connected Morgue Pie with every streamer in Austin, Texas. I had no idea that she had previous histories of falsely accusing men. I had no fucking idea. And my stupid ass put her on game in Austin. Horrible. Absolutely fucking horrible. It's always the hoes, man. And shout outs to every single man who's currently dealing with some bullshit like this. You got this. Keep fighting.